was that the 5 players we've obviously discussed in detail in previous shows.
The COVID 5.
The COVID 5, we'll call them, rather than going through all their names, have come out in front of Rangers TV today and done their apology. I've only seen the Nathan Patterson one so far. He looked like he was about to cry, to be honest. He was basically saying how sorry he was. He was sorry to the fans, sorry to his family, how he grew up a Rangers fan. He knows it's a privilege to play for the club, etc. And basically, he wants a second chance from us, and he wants to show us on the park what it means for him to play for Rangers. And yeah, so it was him. It was Bassey was there as well. Apparently, he was quite upset as well. He apologised to his family as well, again to the fans. Zungu too apologised. Kind of said basically because he's 28, he obviously should show an example at that age. And like we all said, to be honest, I think he kind of hinted as if he's not going to be there next season. I think we know he's not going to be there next season from Gerrard's comments. So yeah, that was one that kind of broke half an hour ago there. So I wondered when we would hear from them. They're obviously allowed back to training now with the guys. I'd imagine they were shiting themselves, to be polite, coming into training today. Several figures, but Al McGregor was standing there ready for them, and several other ones. So
yes,
yeah, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on it now the dust is settled. I mean, me and you, Carney, both said we would sack them pretty much. I know, Scotia, you were a bit more compassionate. You would maybe let them stay. So what's your feelings now the dust is settled and now you've heard, or from what they've said, has your opinion changed on it?
From what I've seen and from what I've seen of the apologies, I'm what else are they going to come out and say, really? Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, Rangers are their employers. In terms of Zungu, Gerrard pretty much confirmed that it's affected what they were going to do to sign him. From what I've heard as well, it's like $2.5 million or something to sign him. If we need to sign him, he's not shown me that we deserve to put that kind of money out to keep him at the club. Patterson and Bassey, as I say, it's like the same thing with Jones and Edmondson, because slightly anyway, because I think Edmondson's got far more potential than Jones has, so I wasn't really bothered about Jones, and I still feel the same now. Like, Edmondson's probably got the biggest chance out of they two to come back to the club. I think if Jones comes back, it'll be only to gather his stuff and leave. Patterson is so promising, man, and it's so hard not to be double standards. I'm not as raging as I was about it, obviously. Especially the way Patterson's apologising, you can't help but feel kind of sorry for him. He is silly. He's made a daft mistake in terms of that. But if there was one of them players that I'd be willing to keep, it would be Patterson. He is only 18 years old, and Bassey's only 20 as well. They're wee boys. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when I think about it, he's 19. I'm 32, man. Like nearly, so I'm nearly 33, and it's like, guy's still got such a long time ahead of him, and he's got a lot of potential. And I don't know. It's again another one where it's like my Myers one as well. I'm sitting 50-50 with it. I honestly believe that Patterson will get his chance. I think Bassey and everybody else might get put out on their kind of loan, if you like. Not Zungu will go. I don't think we'll see him play for Rangers again. But yeah, I think Patterson's probably in with a shout. How I feel about it, I'm still very upset about it. I'm still disappointed in it. I'm not as angry as I was about it. I've definitely calmed down in that sense, but I would probably be looking at giving Bassey the benefit of the doubt. And he's a Rangers boy. He's grew up Rangers boy, so I'd be giving him a second chance, I think. But the rest of them were on a shaky peg, I would say.
Well, I would say just for the jump to Scotia, I would say, Scotia mentioned it last night. Mabudi's contract's up the end of the season, so he'll be gone. Zungu will be gone. The boy Kinnear, we've not seen him at all. So you're really going on Kinnear, Bassey and Patterson. So Scotia, dust settled. You still there for second chances?
Well, the apology was the least that I expected. Yeah, I've not had a chance to see the videos. So I'll catch up with them later tonight. But it was the least we deserved. Yeah, in terms, I think they probably do get a wee bit of a second chance. I think. I mean, ultimately there's 7 of them. As you say, Zungu, no, that's not going to happen. The fact that he's 28, the fact that it's going to cost us so much money, it's not as if he's got any. He's not an asset to us in terms of getting any money in from him at the moment. So yeah, I don't think something will happen the way Gerrard's been speaking. I don't think it'll happen. Boody's obviously was out of contract, so you'd imagine he'll be away down south. You'd imagine someone down in England will pick him up because his wee brother's away down to Man City, isn't it? His wee brother went to. Yeah. So I think a club down there will pick him up because he's got good potential, I think, in Booty. The other four, Jones, I said before, I think the Celtic thing, the tackle again in the Celtic game pissed me off, and then the COVID thing pissed me off further, and he's that bit older, so you expect more. The other three, I think they'll stay, and I think part of that's due to circumstance with where they play. Jones, we've got enough players up in his position at the moment, really, that it's not a huge miss. Whereas particularly Bassey and particularly Patterson, we might have to play them at some point this season because of the situation that we're in with injuries and whatnot, and the cover at that position. So yeah, I would be tempted to give three of them a chance. Jones, I'm more leaning to no chance, but I wouldn't be overly upset if he was given another chance and he knuckled down. But there's only so many times you can do that.
I don't think they will play this season. I think they'll be hammered by a ban soon. I mean, Edmondson and Jones get 7 matches. There's 8 matches left, so I don't think we will see them. Me personally, I seen George Edmondson scored for Derby last night. He started a couple of games for them now. I've seen Jones is coming off the bench for Sunderland. Personally, those two we won't see again, I don't think. I think they'll be gone. The only ones you are talking about in terms of Bassey and Patterson potential, yeah, if it was me, I would still get rid of them, to be honest. I think they potentially really cost us this season if they'd come back from what they were doing. I know they come out and apologise, which you would expect them to do. The only thing I could possibly see is if we bump them out on loan for a year somewhere and says, right, you go out and prove yourself somewhere else for a year and potentially maybe come back, and we might have to look at cover for someone else to come in at these areas. But for me, no, I'm sorry. I agree in second chances, but the second chance was gone when, I think you mentioned it, Carney, when Edmondson and Jones did what they did. So for me, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's too late. Find another club.
But Stephen, you say that,